What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Trent the Truth Show. I'm your host, Trent the Truth. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're listening from, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube. It's the Trent the Truth Show. And also follow us on social media at Trent the Truth. Anywhere you look, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by K's Cakes. Are you looking for desserts that taste just as good as they look? Whether you're celebrating a birthday, baby shower, or just treating yourself throughout the week, K's Cakes has you covered. We service the entire Chicagoland area as well as most surrounding cities. We also deliver. From custom cakes to gourmet treats, K's Cakes can bring your vision to life. One delicious bite at a time. Place your order today at kayscakes.com. Watch the spelling. K-A-Y-E-S. K-A-K-E-S.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at K's Cakes. Again, K-A-Y-E-S. K-A-K-E-S. To see what's fresh out the oven. K's Cakes. Because every celebration deserves something sweet. And you know that's good because if you like me, wrestling with the sweet tooth, it's hard to stay away from that sweet owl or calling, that person that that do those cakes and those treats and those puddings and those brownies. So make sure you hit up K's Cakes for everything you need. And just like I always tell you guys, if you wanna advertise your business, sponsor an episode, if you got any questions, if you got any comments or anything you want me to address, email me at trentthetruthshow@gmail.com. Once again, trentthetruthshow@gmail.com. If you want to donate to the cause, our cash app is TrentTheTruth88. Make sure you put the $ in front. TrentTheTruth88. And, thank you for whatever you decide. Email me, hit me up, donate. Whatever you do, we always grateful. Oh, man. What we got today? We always try to make sure we put together a good show for you guys. We got our word of the day. We do that. We find our word of the day when we use that. We try to apply that to our everyday vocabulary and use it as much as we can. We do our shot of the day. We do our Trent's tips. And today I got a pretty good topic for you guys. So, I don't know. We're going to kind of keep the show rolling. I'm having a pretty smooth week. I can't complain. I never really try to complain because it really don't get you no damn well. And I tell people complaining is contagious. But shit, when you start complaining and you start telling somebody what's going on with them, they're gonna sympathize a little bit, but they probably gonna have something to top what you done said. So now you done started a whole complain train. So it's like, I no sense in complaining, so I try not to complain at all. Having an awesome week. I'm alive. Shit. That's really where you get to start. Even all your ups and downs, is waking up to see it. So, you start there, you're in pretty good shape. So, we good. We're going to keep the show rolling. We just trying to make our little new additions and elevations wherever we can. And that's all life is about, each and every day. It's all a practice. And we help ourselves with our words and everything that we do. So we got our word of the day going. Today's word of the day is deify. Let's get the pronunciation.
Deify.
Deify. D-E-I-F-Y. Again, that's D-E-I-F-Y. Deify is a verb. And it means to idolize or worship. Deify, to idolize or worship. You already know, that's pretty much self-explanatory. And even with the word of the day, I try to make sure I put it in a sentence. These athletes and these entertainers are awesome at what they do, but you should never deify them because they're just as human as you are. So that's how we're using that. Deify, again, is our word of the day. And like I say, this always helps me in my vocabulary, just boosting up my everyday speak. And it's been helping. So I appreciate that. Download that Word of the Day app if you don't have it. Or just make sure you're doing whatever you can just to make sure you're getting better every day. Because like I said, it's all everyday practice. And you want to make sure you in that mental gym, you in that physical gym. Make sure you're working out. DFI, our word of the day. Moving right along, you always got to make sure you hydrating yourself, keeping your water going. But as a barber, sometimes, clients come through, they having whatever kind of day they having, and they see the bar that I got, and it makes them want to have a shot. A lot of times I really don't have anything in particular if I'm not picking myself. Like I said, I'm a whiskey guy. But whatever the clients be wanting, sometimes we just go ahead and go with that. But today's shot of the day is actually a selection of my own. Today's shot of the day is going to be coming from Maker's Mark. Yeah, just a little bit of facts about Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark has a rich history and some unique facts about it. It makes it stand out in the bourbon world. It was founded in 1953 by Bill Samuels in Loretto, Kentucky. That's actually where it's made as well. Bill Sr. was a part of the bourbon making family, but he wanted to create his own. He wanted to create something smoother, something less harsh. So what he did was he branched out and did his own thing. It's believed that he burnt the original family recipe and created his own. So in 1958, the Maker's Mark bottle, the Maker's Mark that we know as the taste today, is what was created. It's known for the red wax seal. Every bottle is hand dipped in red wax. It's a marketing masterstroke, which was done by his wife, Margie Samuels. She's also included in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool. Maker's Mark is priced pretty fairly. You can get a $7.50 or a fifth for about anywhere between $26 and $33. Never really known it to be too expensive, but whiskey, depending on what it is and depending on the quality of it, you're gonna pay for it. Maker's Mark has a bunch of different other brands, but Maker's Mark Original is where you can get that price point. Some of the drinks that you can make with Maker's Mark is, of course, one of my favorite drinks, the Old Fashioned. That's just Maker's Mark bourbon with a few bitters, some sugar, orange twist, and a cherry. You can also do the mint julep. That's a Kentucky Derby classic. Just put a little mint in there with some simple syrup and some ice. You can make a Manhattan. That's Maker's Mark with a sweet vermouth and Angostura bitters. You can do a whiskey sour, Maker's Mark and lemon juice, simple syrup. You can also do a bourbon smash, bourbon, mint, lemon wedges, and a simple syrup. All of these drinks are refreshing and easy, and they all pair well with cigars. Sometimes when I do cigars, I'm an Ashton guy. Well, not necessarily an Ashton guy, but I was introduced to those, so those are pretty cool. And since I don't really do cigars so much, whenever I'm looking for one, I just go ahead and grab an Ashton since I'm familiar with it. So all of these kind of pair well with that Ashton cigar if you want to go ahead and do that. You can have it neat, on the rocks. You can have your Maker's Mark pretty much however you choose. But in my community, we just crack that motherfucker open and pour a cup. Not really sure what you doing. Not really sure what you having. But go ahead and pour you one too. Our shot of the day today is coming from Maker's Mark. I don't know where you at. I don't know what you're doing. But it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Maker's Mark is our shot of the day. And we all said, cheers. That was good. You got to be careful. You got to be careful with that whiskey. It'll come get you. Tap your ass on that shoulder, let you know when to go home. make sure you're paying attention. Maker's Mark is our shot of the day. In all my efforts to just make sure we stay aligned, just to make sure we sharing thoughts and to make sure we comparing, because nobody is just right by themselves. It takes a lot. It takes a difference to make the world go round. Different people make the world go round. So as long as we sharing different perspectives and making sure we're just aligning ourselves in thought in different ways that we can, I feel like we give ourselves a chance to be on one accord. And that whole purpose is what sparks Trent's tips. When I do Trent's tips, sometimes, like I say, it's something that I come up with in conversation that I'm having with somebody. Maybe it's a lesson that I form together from something I see, whether I'm out and about, whether I'm talking with somebody, or even if it's something with myself. I always try to make sure I put together some tips for you guys. And today, our tips is going to be, number one, this was something that I actually got from one of my partners, man. This was pretty smooth. He laid some real knowledge on me. And I was able to just to draw my own perspective of it. And just I'm going to share this with y'all. Tip number one, it's better to listen and learn than to live and learn. I'm going to say it again. It's better to listen and learn than to live and learn. And when you break that down, when you summarize that, pretty much what you form is a hard head make a soft ass. That's pretty much what that means to me right there. It's better to listen and learn than to live and learn. Because when people tell you something, they telling you that for your own good. They're not telling you that to be bossy. They're not telling you that just to be that authoritative figure over you. But when your elders are speaking with you, when your elders are letting you know what's going on, understand that they've been where you at, family. They've been everywhere you've done. They've been everywhere they've been everywhere you on your way. So you got to make sure you heeding and you taking heed to those lessons and you understanding everything that you're being taught. Because some of that stuff can save your life. Some of that stuff can help you. Some of that stuff can prevent a lot of hard work and heartache. All you got to do is just listen and pay attention. But if you don't do that, then life gonna show you. Then sometimes you're gonna have to suffer those consequences of not listening. Sometimes you just gotta understand that when they told you not to touch that stove, the stove was hot, you was gonna get burned. But look at you. You had to touch the stove. You don't wanna listen. You don't wanna take the warning. You got to find out for yourself. Listen, man, sometimes you understand. When you listen and pay attention, that can save your life. It's better to listen and learn than to live and learn. Because when you start to live and learn, when you start to live the lessons that people try to prevent, man, it can cost you years to get back. It can set you back so far, so long, so far financially, so much time you done wasted doing the wrong things or not paying attention or not following the right routes, not following the path that was created. You bring that on yourself. Because you don't want to listen. You want to be hard-headed. And a hard head makes a soft ass. Understand that it's better to listen and learn than live and learn. Tip 2. Whatever 9 you're around, you'll most likely be the 10th. I'm going to say that again. Whatever 9 you're around, fam, you'll most likely be the 10th. And this also is self-explanatory, just like they always told you. They told you this your whole life. Birds of a feather flock together. And you know what that means. Guilty by association. You know what all these sayings mean. You know what these things mean when your parents tell you these things, when your coaches tell you these things, when your teachers tell you these things, when your grandparents, when your neighbors, when they tell you these things to let you know. You got to understand that if you're around a bad crowd, if you started out good, you're going to end up bad. Understand that. So you got to understand, like you really have to make sure you're monitoring the people you're around. You're watching your circles. You're making sure you're hanging with the right people. If you're around 9 gangsters, 9 gangbangers, 9 felons, 9 people that don't have a future, 9 people that don't want a future, whatever you start out as soon as you get around that, you're going to end up that same way. Something going to happen to you. It's a strong chance that some bullshit going to happen because you're around that crowd. And even it's the same thing with the good things. You put yourself around 9 entrepreneurs, 9 good business people, 9 good fathers, 9 good husbands, 9 good sisters, 9 good whatevers, 9 good people, 9 good things, 9 millionaires. You learn from them. It's just something that just naturally happens, something that you just naturally pick up. So you got to understand, it's energy, it's an aura that just rubs off on you. However you start out, you're going to finish that way. Whatever 9 you're around, you're definitely going to be that 10. And you got to understand, you got to watch the company you keep. Sometimes you be around the wrong people, and you need to get around the good people and watch how your life change. And see, that's what you got to understand. Start to learn how to grow. Whatever 9 you're around, you're going to be the 10th. 9 bad, you're going to be the 10th bad. 9 good, you're going to be the 10th good. That's just really how it works. Moving on. We try to make sure we keep a good pace and a good flow. I don't try to keep y'all here too long. I promise you I don't. Because I mean, I try to keep the prolixity down. Try not to keep saying the same things too many times. So try to get in, try to get out real quick, So, but at the same time, I make my points. I do what I gotta do, say what I gotta say, and we gone. But we at tip number 3. Tip number 3 is something that I came up with myself. I've been saying this for a long time, and I, whenever I get a chance to just give people little gems or whatnot, I tell them this whenever they telling me about like different problems they having with certain people, when people then turn their back on them or what they did them wrong some kind of way. Tip number 3: people come with their own rope. No need to figure them out. People come with their own rope. For real, these days, you don't have to figure them out no more. Why? Because when you meet people and they tell you their name, when you meet John Doe, the I got my own rope, that part is silent. So he gonna shake your hand, she gonna shake your hand. Hi, my name is John. Hi, my name is Jane. And you're gonna miss that I got my own rope part, and you're not gonna pay attention to it. Because what that means is people gonna hang themselves. You ain't gotta play detective. You ain't gotta try to figure out what their angle is. They gonna reveal themselves to you. And when they reveal themselves to you, try not to be so shocked. Because when you understand that people hang themselves, eventually it could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple years. But understand that if there's gonna be some damage, people come with their own rope. Now that rope it could be a 2-way rope now, because people can hang themselves and people could come with their rope just to make sure that they be in a good health. It's all up to that person. And like I say, it's not up to you to figure out which way that person is going to use their rope. It's up to them. It's in their behavior. It's how they act, how they deal, which is it's your responsibility just to pay attention to it. You got to do your homework, watch who you're around, because like I say, people come with their own rope. And DMX said something that was real good. He said he trusts people to be them. If you're a thief, trust him to be a thief. If you're a liar, trust him to be a liar. Because when I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, I end up getting bit in the ass. I end up trusting a little too much. It costs me. But when I understand you're going to eventually hang yourself some kind of way, or you're going to eventually show me that you belong with me some kind of way, then I understand that I don't got to do the work. I don't got to play detective. I don't got to be Columbo. Because you're going to do it yourself. It ain't up to me no more. So you go ahead and shit. When I meet you, Jane Doe, John Doe, I understand what you mean when you say you got your own rope. Because something gonna happen. Something gonna happen. You're gonna reveal yourself either to me some kind of way. It's gonna show. And I haven't been had to do nothing. All I got to do is just be here. People come with their own road. You ain't even necessarily gotta be the one to try to figure out what's going on. They got the shit they self already. You ain't gotta play detective. Because that's what it's about. Let motherfuckers hang themselves. Moving on. I'm like Maya. Remember that song with Maya? Moving on. The weak ass Silk the Shocker. Just could never get with his delivery. But shit, he paid. I'm on the way. So I guess I shouldn't be laughing. Maybe I need to start rapping all fucked up and shit. I don't know. But look though. You ever ask somebody if they know how to swim? You know, what would they say? They gonna say yeah. They might say no. You know, whatever. But let's talk about the yes people. Who are they? They're the confident people. They sure of themselves. Well, at least in regards to the question that you ask them. You know, if you ask somebody if they could do something and they know they can, then it'll make them feel good to do it. It'll make them feel good to answer the question. It'll give them a lot of confidence. And of course, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, you're supposed to have a good level of confidence in everything that you're doing, and you're supposed to know what you know. But ask that same person if they can swim in the lake. What they gonna say then? See what they ass say. What kind of answer you gonna get? See, if I ask them. It's something that happens when you ask a question. Somebody asks you a question and you know they asking you something that's a little larger than your knowledge of expertise, something that's a little out of your realm, something that you know you can't perform. Something happens. It's almost like a light that goes off, or a big warning signal that you get, and it pretty much cautions you and it pulls you back to let you know that you're out of your element, and it could potentially get bad if you try to go any further. You know, so you tell yourself, I'm good in the pool, fam, just not in the lake. But in a small way, it tends to make us question ourselves and make us question our ability. And then we start to doubt ourselves. How did that make us feel? We start to feel low, start to feel unable, inferior to a degree. And when a lot of times when we take on those traits, then it's hard for our confidence to stay high. And you don't believe in yourself. Or does the very same caution help us understand and put in place and perspective the things we know we're good at, the things we can do, the questions we can answer, the things we're sure of? All of that is called just staying in that high confidence zone, and it allows us to keep our credit with people. It helps them retain confidence in us, because we all know if somebody asks you to do something and you don't come through for them, what they gonna say? Oh man, you know, if you ain't know what you was doing, you should have let me know. I would have got somebody else to do it. Oh man, if you couldn't answer that, man, you should have let me know. I would have called somebody else. And then now you lost your credit. Now you don't seem dependable. See what I'm saying? So when we caution ourselves against what we don't know, when we caution ourselves against what we can't do, at least in that particular moment, let's really ask, are we doing ourselves a favor and keeping our credit? Is it better this way? Is it smart? Or is it hindering in some kind of way? Does it slow us down? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's talk about it. We know it's common to find when you're in the pool. It's common for people to find swimming in the pool a lot easier than swimming in a lake. And of course, that's obvious. But why? Because, you know, pools got floors, pools got the signs around them to let you know how deep the water is. It's better psychologically, almost because you feel like you know your surroundings. There's some familiarity. You're safe in your circle of knowledge. You know what you know. Yo Gotti saying a song, I know what I know, and man, that's all I know. And shit, it really, when you say it that way, it don't get no plain in that. And said you use that, that's where you start to build your foundation of trust and confidence. Then you start to secure it more and more because you're practicing and you're getting your expertise in those fields. So now you trust yourself. Then you're able to build a good life for yourself. So now you don't see a problem with it. You don't feel the need to expand. For what? Branch out for what? I don't think I need to try new things. I don't think I need to have new jobs or new environments. I'm content. Shit. But I don't know. Staying in your lane sometimes gets a bad reputation. It could be seen as boring. People will say you're overly cautious or you lack ambition. And that shit not even true at all. It's the furthest from true because you hearing that from motherfuckers on the outside looking in. Because it's all about your perspective, the way you look at things, because you got the ability to make this look good. You got the ability to make yourself look smart, to look calculated, to look wise. And that helps you know, and it helps you understand how you're making your progress. Now you know you own something. You can see that. I can see everything I'm doing, so I feel good about it. Just like that pool. Just like when you know you first started swimming. You got in on that shallow end. You ain't know what you was doing. You started off in the shallow end. You was new to everything. New at work, new to your environments, new in your relationships, new in your responsibilities. So you took it slow. You got to know everything. You got to know everybody. You got to know the layout. You got to know the people and all the processes. You became familiar with it all. So you started to see where your wiggle room was at. So after that, you took the training wheels off, a little bit. You told yourself, once everything, you see the way everything is elevating, and it's cool. Because why? You practicing all of this and you can handle that pressure now. So now you feel good about going to that deep end. And keep in mind, we're still in this pool. You said you can swim. So we good. So we gonna take this little bit of knowledge that we starting out with, and we're gonna go and roll with that. We taught ourselves how to swim, taught ourselves how to go to the deep end and swim. We tread, we good, we maintain it. And since we did that, since we got the results, we stay exactly where we at. Especially when we know we can see the progress, when we know we done started a long way, we came a long way, we can see that progress. When you know you living good, when you know you coasting, you're gonna tell yourself everything you want to hear. Oh shit, I'm okay. This job pay me good, I'm good. It's convenient for me. I got a good social life. I don't got a major role that require a lot of my time. I feel like I pretty much know my ceiling. I don't have a need to upgrade. Knowing your ceiling sometimes helps you understand your place in life. It can bring peace, it can bring focus. It helps you bring that knowledge of self. It creates kind of you form that mantra of like it creates peace with it creates peace with who you are, not necessarily who you're not. You tell yourself, I am what I am, and what I'm not, I'll never be. And that goes into understanding who you are. When you understand your natural strengths or even your limitations for that matter, when you know you got your preferences, you tend not to waste time on all the shit that that don't interest you, all the shit that don't concern you. You tell yourself what? I'm good where I'm at. I no longer have to prove myself constantly. I'm good. I'm tried. I did the work. I got my stripes. I'm straight where I'm at. I moved up in the fields I'm in. I'm cool. I'm comfortable. I'm growing. I'm okay with going as wide as I can go. I don't necessarily have to go deep. I feel good about what I'm doing. I'm clear on my lane. So what did you do? You stop scattering all that time and attention in all the bullshit places. You start to collaborate better. You tell yourself, shit, I'm good where I'm at. I can call people if I need to. I'm safe. I know right here, I don't gotta have it all figured out. That helps me protect my mental health because I don't gotta do all this chicken chasing. I don't gotta worry about all the pressure I'm cool. I'm coasting. I'm straight. I'm good. Like the clips, I'm good. Because when you start always chasing the next level, that shit can lead to burning out. You can get stressed. You can get insecure. Now you want to start to wonder, like, what the fuck is wrong with where I'm at? Now you're insecure. I mean, you can lie to yourself and tell yourself you're not growing if you want to, but when you know your limits, it doesn't kill your growth. You don't tell yourself all that bullshit. It don't kill growth, because if anything, it helps guide it. Knowing your limits helps guide your growth. I know what I can do. I know how far I can go. I know how I can grow here. I know how this is gonna work. I know how this is gonna turn out. I feel good about all this. And all of this is because I'm aligned in my nature. I'm in my realm. I know what I'm doing. I'm in my element. I know what's authentic to me. I know what's sustainable for me. I'm worried about, like I say, I'm worried about going wide, not necessarily going deep. But going deep, I want to be able to stretch as far out as I can see. And yeah, it's all true. All of this is true. You can be content and still thrive. Like, don't let the motherfuckers send you off, make you feel like you ain't doing enough. You can be content exactly where you at and still thrive in the world. Then your mantra could be, I'm not trying to be the best in the world. Because I'm not. Shit, I'm really just trying to be the best person that I can be, one day at a time. And it's a lot of deep power in that. Ain't no burnout, ain't no stress, no ego, just growth. And you rooted in all your self-awareness. So what do? We turn into TLC. And we start to stay away from the rivers and lakes that we used to. Because once we found out that we good, we start to understand that, hey, I don't need to stretch it out any further. I don't need to do no more. So we stay away from all that. We stay away from the lakes and all those unpredictable waters. What's the lakes? The elements. The shit we know we can't control. Just like the pools. We can control what's going on in the pools. But unlike the pools, lakes have currents. Lakes got waves and all type of underwater constructions that can make it extremely difficult to see. It can make it difficult to swim. It can make it hard to navigate. So what do we do with all of that? Once we see all of that, we tell ourselves it ain't worth the hassle. We won't even decide to go for it. We say fuck it. We leave it to the ones that want it. We leave it to them. For what? Shit, I'm good. I don't want it. It ain't worth that hassle. So we leave it to them. It's out of my league. But now we say all that. Here come that warning light, that flashing that I was telling you about. You tell yourself, it's out of my league. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with being an editor. I don't necessarily got to be the marketing director. I don't necessarily got to be the president. Or, I only make hats and t-shirts. I don't necessarily got to make shoes and purses. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't got the equipment for all that. I don't know how much it costs. All these things that you start to create that doubt. You start to tell yourselves whatever you want to tell yourself to create that cushion. Or what about relationships? Oh, well, we normally just take small trips. I don't necessarily know about Dubai. I don't want to go to Africa. I don't know. That might be a little too much. You don't want to branch out. You're playing sports. I'm cool coming off the bench. I don't necessarily want to start. I'm cool getting my little couple minutes, my little couple points here and there. I'm cool in my little pocket. I'm straight wherever I'm at. Everything that costings us shows up. But you the motherfucker said you could swim. You the one said you could swim, right? I asked you if you could swim. You said you could swim. You answered real confident. Hell yeah. Where your confidence at, fam? Where it's at? You're supposed to have a high level of confidence. But be careful though, because you can't have too much. Overconfidence is also a thing. You gotta watch that. For real. It could be It could be mistaken for readiness. You can tell yourself, because I did a couple little small things, I'm ready. I fixed the sink, so I think I'm a plumber. You can tell yourself that shit. But it can cost you. Entry-level relationships didn't work for you. Now you think you're ready for upper-class relationships? Hell no. Don't date above your level. That lady can take care of herself. That man can do all that stuff himself. If you want to come in there, make sure you add. Or at least be ready to stomp with the big dogs. But see, they ask you to take on bigger roles at work. You get scared. Or because you think you can play manager for one day, now you think you can run the whole flow. I don't know. So you got to understand, just because the shit worked one time, it's not scalable. That don't mean it's gonna work every time. That don't mean I know what I know. That don't mean I know what I'm doing. That don't mean I'm able to upgrade right now. For real, it's like, yes, we know confidence opens doors. We know that, but competence is what keeps the doors open. Are you efficient? Can you handle this? Are you competent enough to handle the job? Yeah, I understand. You can have all the confidence in the world, dang you, son, but if you're not sure, if you can't execute, if you can't show me what you're doing, don't come up here. For real, I'm good in the pool, just not in the lake. Make sure you know the difference between readiness and ambition. And if you don't, you can either make the immature decision or you're gonna be cautious. Now we back to that light again. Being cautious and always playing it safe can feel smart in the beginning, but over time it can mess with your mentals a little bit because it's gonna play on you. What's gonna start to happen? It's gonna bring back that anxiety. It's gonna bring back that fear. All because you're avoiding those risks. You being scared. You being a punk. All of these things teach your brain that the thing that you're avoiding, the thing that you're unsure of, is dangerous. So your brain just blocks you out from it. It don't even allow you to try to do it. And as things continue, as time goes on, you get less and less courageous. That whole thrill is gone. Like B.B. King, the thrill is gone. You don't even care no more. Because for what? That's what you keep telling yourself. That's what you keep asking yourself. You're less and less courageous. You don't want to take no risk no more. You don't want to open that business no more. Now that plan gone. Now the plan gone. Now you don't want to expand for whatever reason. Now you don't want to expand with school. Now you don't want to expand with your personal life. You're constantly giving fuel to the self-doubt, which is going to do what? Now you're going to end up with a ton of regret. And now here come because of all the stagnation, because you waited, because you didn't act, because you got scared, because of all that other bullshit you did, because you didn't believe, and all the regret kept rising, and all the regret kept rising and rising and rising. Now here come the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Now here come the oh man. Now here come the oh man, it's too late, so I wish I shouldas and all of that. No. Sometimes it is good just to step out on the little bit of faith we got, the little bit of knowledge we got. Sometimes it is good. You'll never know if you don't try. And that's what we got to keep telling ourselves. We got to start to see the benefits of effort. Sometimes just try a little bit. You never know what you can do until you try. Not necessarily caring about the outcome. Like, fuck it. Like, whatever you get, however it looks. Show yourself a proof of concept. Look, I'm going to show myself I can do this. Whatever it is, I want to create something. I want to show myself something. Step out on that courage. All of this, even when you have just the basic skills, it works. Because it's some of the most powerful ways to grow. And you just pin your ears back and you go. You say, fuck it. And it's not necessarily about being reckless or faking it. It's about trusting the foundation that you create. Knowing what you started from. Knowing that you got enough to start. Knowing that shit, I'm going to just let my experience go and I'm going to do the rest. I'm going to just let it flow. I'm going to let it flow. And sometimes when we do that, we get good results. We can't be afraid though. Clip them wings. Apply for that job you know you ain't 100% qualified for. Shit, I'm 80% qualified, and I'm gonna just let everything else I got do the rest. I'm gonna ask questions along the way. I'm gonna fill it in. I ain't green like that where I don't know how to just feel my way around. I know how to survive. I got enough knowledge to start out. You know, say yes to that leadership role. Elevate that relationship. Because what you find out when you do that is the major difference is just communication. You're going to communicate more. You got to show up a little bit more. Everything is just elevated. It's not necessarily nothing new. It's just the same shit, just more. And you find out it's the exact same principles of swimming in the pool than it is the same thing swimming in the lake in some cases. So, you know, it's just like, you know, you get comfortable. You start to build that confidence, and then you learn more. And all of this comes from just taking action. Never know what the fuck you can do. It strengthens you. Now you become bigger than the obstacles that was weighing you down when you told yourself you ain't want to do it. All because you just went. You told yourself, like, look, I don't got no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to go. I don't care. I went on. I'm going to go anyway. And it made you feel good. So now the mantra changes. What you tell yourself now? I don't need to be fully ready. I just need to be willing. Now it's a whole mindset thing. It's a psychological factor. I need to take everything I learned at this entry level and all the practice I have and all the experience I have, and let me just see what I come up with. Let me just see what I can do. I'm not necessarily afraid of falling on my face, but I want to see what I come up with. I want to see what I got. Let's see what's going on out here. Let's put a plan together. Let's go with what we know. And let's just take some blind faith and jump out, because you never know what happens. You never know what you're going to end up with. Sometimes you just go for it. And when you do that, what do we learn? What do we learn? We learn that we should have did this shit all along. Because when you was playing it safe, when you thought everything was cool, when you didn't see the need for all of that, you didn't see the need for growing, you was really passing on opportunities. You was really numbing your ambition and your creativity. You was really distorting your idea of success. You thought you were successful then, but you kept seeing people in bigger and better spaces than yourself. They're successful too. What they doing ain't hard, but you distorted your own idea of success because you decided, look, I'm cool right here where I'm at. I don't want to grow. I'm cool. You built a false sense of control. See what I'm saying? Playing it safe make you feel in control, but some people can say it's an illusion because shit, you don't necessarily know. You don't necessarily know what it is. You don't necessarily know what's going on. It's a false sense. You created that. You told yourself some kind of lie for some reason. I don't know. You told yourself it ain't cool. It ain't safe. You know, you like the sand. I'm good in the pool, just not in the lake. But you say that, and it's a safe thing. But some people say it's an illusion. But why? Because we know life is unpredictable, just like those lakes. Even if I'm able to swim and maintain myself in these extreme waters and conditions, I like where I'm at. I'm good in this pool. I'm fully knowledgeable. My feet on the ground. I'm solid. I got foundation. I'm not uncertain about nothing. I'm in charge of where I'm at. I'm good. I got help. I'm growing. And I know for a fact I'm not going to drown. That's the part of being confident. That's the part of knowing what's going on. That's the part of being sure of being sure of what you're sure of. And see, what we got to understand is staying in your lane. When you understand staying in your lane isn't about fear, understand that it's about clarity. You know who you are. You know what you bring to the table. That self-awareness is a foundation of confidence. It don't necessarily mean you can't grow. It just means you're choosing to be smart and not focus on the unknown. I'm good in the pool, just not in the lake. Just retaining that, giving yourself that chance to just be cool and be confident in the way you are. See, people will trick you, and they'll come in and tell you because you're not always trying to get to another level, then you're not growing. Then you're not maximizing. But like I was saying earlier, sometimes that can grow insecurities. Because what's wrong with where I'm at? I just got this nice house not too long ago. Now somebody want to tell me I need more. Or I just got this position that I just worked for. Now somebody want to tell me to go and get another one. I'm cool where I'm at. You see, just like the high sides of everything we want to explore, you have to consider the low. As above, so below. It's all the same thing. Think about the risk. What if you do fall? A lot of times when you upgrade your job and you go up in management and you get out that union, you upgraded your position, but this position means I'm out the union. So now what? Anything happen, my ass is grass. I'm not protected no more. Yeah, I may be getting an extra X amount of dollars that I may not even see. Because when I divide it on my checks, I don't even get a chance to see this raise. But my responsibilities didn't change so much. I do so much more at the job now. I'm more stressed out now. I take work home now. I miss family outings now. How important is it? It may not be so important. You tell yourself, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm gonna stay right here. I don't want to take that risk. It's not worth it to me. Well, let's stay where we at. We good. Because see, people say the sky's the limit. But yeah, we know that. But where you at right now, you're not at the sky. Yeah, you celebrating. Yeah, you living good. Yeah, you having a good time. But you're not at the sky. You're at a good level. Because see, once you get to the sky, your ass is up there. And the only place you can come is down. I moved up so much, the next thing that can happen to me is I can go down. And I chose this when it didn't have to be that way. I told myself I wanted this. I told myself I was ready for this. A couple of small things worked. So I said, shit, I'm ready for the next level. Let's go ahead and take it up a notch. When really, my confidence was just where I was at. And I should have just stayed where I was at. Because I grew more. I met more people where I was at. The money was good where I was at. My time was straight where I was at. We did good. We ate good. We went to good places. I performed well on every level that I wanted to be at. Whatever feat you decide to go in that pool, you just gotta understand. And when you know what you're doing, you'll be okay. When you start to branch off into that uncertainty, that unknown, it all becomes a gamble. Sometimes gambling is good. Sometimes gambling ain't worth it. And it's messed up that the gambling, you don't find out that it's good. You don't find out that it's not worth it until you get to the end. So you got to go ahead and you got to go with the act first to find out. It could be unfortunate. But understand this. When you decide to go into that lake, it's because you decided to. You felt you was ready. You took that risk. So you got to own whatever happens. Even when you get that success. Understand that high risk, high reward. So you got that. But I also know that it's a downside to that. It's a downside to that. You could drown. There could be some currents in that lake that you ain't know nothing about when you got in there. Because I knew how to breaststroke, I knew how to backstroke. I knew a couple different strokes. I know how to freestyle. I know how to freestyle. I knew how to swim really good. So I told myself I was gonna take these same principles from the pool because I was cool in 9-10 feet of water. I was cool in that. So I told myself I want to go in 94 feet or however deep the lake is. It's deep as hell. Shit, you ain't in the pool. You know you can touch the bottom and spring back up. You're not doing that in no lake. So when you know you jump in there, Understand that you're going in there with your knowledge. And if it's not enough, it could be too late. Sometimes you can't come back down. I remember when I was playing ball, we used to go so far in the state championship. Sometimes you go so far in the state championship, you can't come back down to Win City. Sometimes if you hadn't gone so far, you can still make an adjustment and come back down. You can still save some things. You can still save your season and win the championship. But you get out there, you go a little too far, then you can't come back. You make a mistake, you lose. That's it. You drown, that's it. Can't save you. So just be safe out here. Be careful out here. Understand what you're doing. Know what you're doing. Be sure about yourself. Everything. Don't waste no time. Don't waste money. Don't waste resources of any kind trying to go ahead and branch out, especially when you know you're good where you at. I'm good in the pool, fam. Just not in the lake.